other day, I released an episode. The second Freaknik episode, I didn't do any editing. I was just like, doo-doo. And then I was like, oh my God. Why did I think that I could do that? But I went back and looked, and there was nothing untoward.
Untoward. I'm like, I'm scared.
I was nervous for a second.
Right, you
Woo!
better right.
I was real. I was like,
Sometimes.
what would lead me to think?
We should be completely uncensored out here. We just gonna be uncensored out here.
We are not the people that I can just put something out there and just hope that.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, Lord. I was
Lord
about
is
to pull that
covering
thing
us.
real quick. I was going to put up a sign that said
Sorry,
technical
kidding,
difficulties.
Kidding. Don't watch that.
JK!
All right, if you have it, please delete. You know, like those. We're asking the jury to please disregard the previous statements. All right, Lord, am I on the right thing? Am I on the right thing? Is it time for clapping?
It is time.
Let's make it clap. Let's make it clap. So I'm afraid to clap because that means go. Okay, I clapped.
Why are you this way?
Why are you this way?
This week I am Hurry Up.
And I don't feel like it.
And we are at Joy.
Where life plus joy equals satisfaction.
And we are probably wrapping up our season of patience and endurance. Maybe. Who
We
knows?
have one more patience.
Okay, we'll see.
We're being patient and
Be
we're enduring.
patient and endurance. Uh-huh.
That's what's happening.
And patience and endurance is the capacity to tolerate suffering, delay reward, and maintain the stamina to finish a thing you don't prefer. It's that you don't prefer
It's the thing
part.
you don't prefer.
It's
We
that.
really can be like, listen, my patience and endurance is so good. My discipline is so good. I wanted to eat a whole pizza and I went ahead and stayed the course and I ate that whole pizza. I prefer to eat a pizza. So that was not, no.
What about them Brussels sprouts?
Now I'm in
Now
impatience and
I am in-
endurance.
okay.
Yeah.
Now is when you know.
Mhm.
Okay. So we start off with our things that you that can try.
Try your patience and endurance. Your child's of the parent. You could be married to them or not.
This is a word. You are not going to 100% of the time adore this person. It doesn't matter if they're your baby mama. It doesn't matter if they're your wife.
Your wife
I
of
am
30
saying to you,
years.
at some point, your child's other parent is going to send you in. I've tried it and I know. I
It's
love him
just
dearly.
The truth. It's
But-
just the truth. No matter how many conversations you had before marriage or before having a child
Does
about
not
how you were
matter.
on one accord about this thing or the other thing, it's just two people trying to do the hardest job ever.
The
so
hardest
of
job.
course,
And
it's going to require your patience.
you
and
will
endurance.
never agree on every single thing.
How could you?
I will say this. I remember I was dating a guy who had a conversation with me where he said he wanted his children to be raised with Kool-Aid and American cheese, which fine. I wasn't.
Did he mean that symbolically, or he means
No.
actually?
He
Please
wanted
purchase
them to
Kool-Aid
actually
American
have the
cheese.
experience of Kool-Aid and American cheese
like once. I'm sorry.
regularly. That it
Every
be
night.
in their household, right?
Okay.
Which is fine. I'm not shading that at all. But I remember thinking to myself, because Messiah was already born at this point, and I remember thinking, I just never had to argue with Greg about those kinds
About
of things.
Kool-Aid
I never had
and
to worry.
American cheese.
If Masai was dropped off at his house, I knew that she was eating a sandwich with wheat bread. You know what I'm saying?
Not
like I
Kool-Aid
knew
and American
not. I knew that if she has some tang, it was gonna be every now and again. It wasn't gonna be with every meal. There are just things we didn't have to argue about. But there were some other real things that we
Always.
just did not see eye to eye. And thank God that we are at a place. We were on the phone the other day, and I said, God damn it. There is no one in this universe that can get under my skin like you. But that's also a testament to my deep love for you and just, but that other parent will take you
Of course.
there.
Of course, because parenting takes you there. And then here's like your co-pilot. Like sometimes you like the way they fly the plane, and sometimes you be like, "Oh my God, I need to take a nap. Can you take over?"
All
flying?
this turbulence.
You trying to take a nap at the same time?
Yeah,
that happens.
That's
right?
real.
Something else that can try your patience and endurance are delays. Delays in travel, thinking an event is going to happen on a certain day and it gets pushed back.
Yeah, anything that takes you out of the plan you had in your head.
Plan that you had.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
sometimes you just have to roll with it.
Ooh, this last one. My love language is clarity, so this one be miscommunications.
We could improve probably our patience and endurance with miscommunications if we just were like okay with calling them that. Like a lot of times things are miscommunications and we're calling it like a deep-seated hatred towards, I'm like, or I miscommunicated. I didn't have a deep-seated hatred for you. I just, forgot to tell you about this. Or I said the wrong thing here. Or, you know what I mean? Like sometimes they really are just miscommunication.
If we stopped assigning feeling to the thing and just considered, ooh, I'm human.
Or a whole
mistake.
narrative to the miscommunication. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think what we do is just we're like, there's a whole story here.
That was all in your mind. Well, baby, it's all in your mind. Hey, yeah. Don't worry. And hear me when I say, baby, it's all in your mind. Yeah. Baby. Nobody else.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Good times. There's no miscommunication there.
That was a little delay.
There's a little delay, but it was not a miscommunication.
It was not a miscommunication. All right. So today's topic. So
right. We have talked a few weeks, like the last several months, about what patience and endurance is.
Yes, we have.
And the benefits of it. We talked about when to endure and when to quit. That was last week. But we might need to do an assessment to see if we just lack the principle. Have you been watching them and thinking like, that sounds good. I think I already have this one. We might need to do a little self-assessment. That's what we're going to do today, right? There are some things that we might be attributing to something else, but it's really just a sign of our lack of patience and endurance.
Yep. So we are going to discuss them and see if they apply to you. So we're going to be asking some questions today. So this is you. If you're listening, if you're watching, whatever you're doing, this is for you to reflect on you. This ain't, now don't take this opportunity to start thinking about, they talking about Tracy.
Right.
We talking about you.
Yeah. Because in fact, if you thought to yourself, like all these external things are happening to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this so-and-so is just being lazy because they're not moving as fast as I want them to. Or I just don't have I just have a lack of opportunity. So, that's why I haven't been able to thrive in these areas. Like sometimes those thoughts are really just like, no, I'm just not patient.
Well,
that's what it is. Okay. So we're going to see. You are going to answer these for yourself when you hear them.
Do you find yourself frequently frustrated?
You got to be honest now. Listen,
have to
in
be
fact,
really
ask somebody
honest.
else.
Yes. So
Somebody
minor,
else if they think.
this tells the tale. Minor inconveniences or setbacks make people who lack patience and endurance angry. It's hard for them to come back to stasis. It's like, I mean, people who go from 0 to 100 and everybody else is like,
They bring all the food out. They forgot to just bring just your one, you know what I'm saying? They bring everything out. Everybody has something. They be like, oh, I forgot you wanted a spoon for your such and such. Oh, how am I supposed to eat mine then? She
I
said
have
she's coming
been
right back.
at dinner with this person.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
She's coming right back with a spoon.
Yep. If this is you, if
You
you
might
see,
have a little problem with patience. And again, ask somebody else.
yeah.
If they see you as this. Do you have trouble waiting for rewards or outcomes? Right. If you struggle with valuing, even valuing long-term goals.
Just the value of it.
Right.
That's
too
not
long.
even
I'm not going to do that. Nope.
just considering a thing that's far off.
And you're like, right. And you have trouble staying committed to a thing that is not immediate. You might need a little more patience and endurance.
Do you make hasty or impulse decisions? Now, here's the thing. Every now and then being spontaneous, great. Is everything you do not thought out? Is everything you do kind of a reaction? Because now things have just unraveled and I got to do something. Is everything that you do not well thought out, planned out, right?
The movie starts at 3, right? And someone calls it, I'm going to be a few minutes late. Forget it. We're not going. I don't want to go. I don't go at all. Well, would you like to see a late? Well, I'm going to get there at 3:08. We'll miss the previews. I don't want to go. Would you want to go to dinner? Nope. I'm calling the whole date off. Okay.
Taking the time to consider the wisest choice. That's where people get tripped up. It's that wisdom.
Yeah.
That wisdom got y'all in a chokehold.
Sometimes wisdom is not this. Sometimes it's just not going to happen that fast. Sometimes you need to, give me a minute.
Sometimes wisdom is silence and time. So that you don't react in the way that would not have been the wisest.
Right.
So taking time to consider the wisest choice can keep you from serious regrets. If you find yourself always regretting your decisions,
I wish I would. If that's popular, like if your language often includes the sentence, "Dang, I wish I wouldn't have," or "I wish I would have," you might need.
I used to feel that way about. I think there was a period of time, like when I think of like my early adult period. You know, I remember thinking back on things and God, I wish I would have done this differently, and which then learn the lesson from it so that you can apply it now. Don't keep making the same. But that's the thing. If you're making those hasty and those impulse decisions, you're making the same mistakes over and over again. You're never getting the lesson because the lesson would have you planning it out. It would have you thinking it through.
Don't answer immediately
Because you know what happens when you do that. Because you remember the impact of the last time you did that. Yeah.
Do you struggle with staying focused? Before you self-diagnose with ADHD, consider that consider the possibility that a lack of patience and endurance is actually contributing to that tendency to become distracted. Right? Sometimes we just don't like a thing or it's not entertaining us fully, so we are zoning out during it, and we're like, I must have an attention deficit. I just have to work on my patience and in terms of reading this book or this article to completion. It may not be ADHD. Right. Sometimes that lack of focus is because we just, we're struggling with enduring it.
And you also might have to find out what are the ways that you do endure a thing. It may not mean that you sit and do things in one sitting.
Right.
I have to give myself brain breaks at work. Or else I don't give my best product. If I've got to just sit with a thing all the way through. So what I do is I give myself little little goals along the way. I say, when I've done that, oh, I can play my little game. I play one round, I come back to it. I read books like that. I clean up like that. Like, okay, I'll clean a room. I'll read a chapter.
30 minutes.
I
will do this. This one thing is done.
Yeah. And that's how you endure a thing all the way through. But you still have to know that about yourself.
Right. But we think because we zone out something maybe just wrong with us instead of just, maybe I just need to work on my patience and endurance. Come up with a patience and endurance plan, like what you just described. There are ways to press your patience and endurance. I mean, we could teach it to you, but I'm saying.
This is what we do. But moving on. Do you tend to give up easily? We will tell ourselves almost anything to get out of something we are tired of doing. that is the
anything.
That's the discipline part, right? It's the doing the thing that brings you discomfort and doing it anyway. We'll tell ourselves, well, I'm supposed to do 25 push-ups. If I get through these 15, I'll be all right. No, the goal was the 25. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be hard. You're working towards something. The 15 doesn't get you to where the 25 does.
But if you find yourself always kind of finding the little excuses, there's actually people have done research on this about Black women and working out, right? Like specifically about Black women working out. There's all kinds of things, mainly around like hair, right? And that becoming an excuse to not work out. Just getting your hair done, something about it is like, no, I can't sweat it out and stuff like that. And then we miss the health benefits, right, from that moment. Having the right clothes, not, having access to being able to wash clothes. Even with me working out more, it's a lot more. It's more laundry. I am wearing more outfits in a day because I'm like working out. There is more to that, than just like, I'm just going to go and work out. But when you use any little thing as an excuse, I'm telling you, it'll work. You'd be like, you know what? I don't have any clean jogger bras. I can't do it.
Yep. If the slightest obstacle is taken.
It looks like it might rain. I was going to go outside and do, run them out. But you know what? Not today 'cause it's going to rain. Like if the slightest little thing, it might be a problem with the endurance.
If you see that as your sign to put the thing down, you're struggling with endurance.
God must not want me to eat healthy because like this.
Because look, no vegetables were in my kitchen.
They would have just miraculously appeared if I was supposed to eat healthily.
Go get some.
Endure getting in your car and going to the grocery store and staying in the perimeter. People say that you don't walk down the aisles. Only do the outside of the grocery store. That's where the healthy food is. Don't buy anything in the aisles. Just produce, the meat.
Although, the wine is on the periphery too.
Okay. I'm including that. Stay out of the little processed boxed foods. But if you even if you're going to eat pasta and stuff, the pasta on the periphery is different than the pasta in the box in the aisle. The fresh pasta is different. But you got to endure and press yourself to do that. Are you constantly seeking instant gratification? I'm just going to tell on myself. I love instant gratification. It's so good.
It's so me.
Oh my God.
It's
so
historically
good.
Been me. Absolutely.
Do you always look for the easy way to solve a problem, right? That unwillingness to invest the time and the effort required for meaningful results might be a symptom of a lack of patience and endurance.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that, look, I need something quick. I need the easy way. I need to just get full real quick. I need to get happy real quick. I need to whatever it is.
They make a joke about this. Are you constantly rewarding yourself? Like, do you constantly tell yourself,
I deserve
I deserve, right? Oh, I deserve this little treat because I did this workout. No, that's the
at every meal
gratification. Right. That's the
treat at breakfast, treat at lunch.
gratification. No, the real gratification is what you started this workout for in the beginning. It's not this moment right here. So you have to kind of take yourself out of this present and consider down the line what this means.
And if you really find yourself like, I'm constantly just seeking just that little, that quick moment of it, you might need a little patience and endurance.
Is stress management a challenge for you? Do you go straight to unhealthy coping skills to deal with that overwhelmed feeling? We just talked about that. When you give yourself a treat, when you go shopping all the time, when you When you do things like I said earlier, the last week, smoking, because that's a stress
Right.
manager,
Yep.
right? But it's going to kill
It's a
you.
maladaptive stress, really,
Yeah.
really coping strategy. But as soon as if you think about it, as soon as you have too much to do, what do? Like, I have too much to do. The thing that gets deleted from your schedule is going to be the workout.
Mm.
I got to finish whatever it is. You got to finish paperwork. Boom, I cannot work out because I got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have time to do all that. I got to hit a drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you, this is what you tell yourself. As soon as you feel overwhelmed by life's tasks, now we have to resort to means that actually are taking us off our goal. Or do you have the patience and endurance to ask for help to manage your schedule so that the workouts stay on there, to spend then Sundays food prepping and whatnot so you don't have to worry about it during the week? So yes, you're always busy on Wednesdays. So no, we're not going to have drive-through Wednesdays. We're going to bring out the little chicken breast you made on Sunday, Wednesdays.
That goes back to, do you make hasty or impulse decisions?
Yep.
Do you have trouble waiting for rewards or outcomes?
Yep. Under stressful times, we have trouble with all that. As soon as we get stressed, that's our difficulty, right? I'm raising my hand again. Is time management a challenge for you? It really requires patience to prioritize your tasks. Like, we know that we have these things to do. So my to-do list will be like 8 million things on there. The reason why the management becomes a challenge for me is that I have to actually sit down, and we've used the word calendarize. I've actually put calendarizing on my calendar.
Everything has to be there.
Like, I have to schedule the time to schedule my times. I spend
Very
time.
real, y'all.
I'm telling you, more than once a week, I have to look at my calendar, manage deadlines, really think about tasks. Now, what really has to be done by tomorrow? Take off the things that don't need to be on there, right? So that my tendency to procrastinate becomes a little bit more thwarted. But I also I'm more organized. Right? The more disorganized you are about things, right, the more inefficient you are, and time management just continues to be a problem.
But I will say also, when you start to work on it and once you develop a groove, time management becomes so much easier. It's the initially starting and developing the systems. Once you get them and you practice them over and over, then it all becomes easier. But when you don't plan,
when you don't endure, you don't have the patience to do the planning part.
You got to make
there
time
is
for
some
it.
time where we're sitting down or we're watching TV, we're doing something. Not saying that those are not wonderful activities, but we need to steal an hour from that and be like, I need to just plan my week.
Yeah.
So that time management doesn't get me.
Can you get irritable and snippy at times? Hello.
Hello.
I've described myself. Impatience manifests as short-temperedness, intolerance, or aggression more often than we realize. We might think somebody is just getting on our nerves, but really, I'm just impatient. We put it off on other people.
Put on the other person.
More, yeah. And
why are you buying all of that stuff at the grocery store? You know what I'm saying? Because they have every right to buy all of that stuff at the grocery store. They have every right to bring those coupons out that they have. You're just impatient. They have every right to save 50 cents on each little thing that they brought up on this little bill. Think about the things that really do kind of make us angry. Stop asking everybody how their day is. It's taking too long. Because we're waiting for the cashier to just hurry up. Stop making small talk. Hurry up.
Well,
That's
we
just us with our impatience.
talked about when you're driving and you're honking at everybody. I used to drive with a person who, the second the light would turn green, if the person in front of them did
Take
not
off.
go, no, they would be honking a horn, and I was like, I can't.
I mean, it just
We're not getting anywhere quicker because of this. Can we just slow it down and just get some patience about this thing?
It's just the lack of patience.
Yeah.
What's so funny though, you know what I'm saying, and I'm tangenting a little bit. There's sometimes people who are like that, right? I think of some people I have in mind, right? They can be really impatient in some places. They require your patience though when it's their turn, whatever their thing that takes a long time.
Well, that's just me.
When you were talking about the driving, I was like, Ricky is going to drive around you and have, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't take off right at the green light, he's going to almost kill us in the car to try to like get around you. But also, you're going to wait while he irons absolutely down to his socks.
We would have
Meanwhile,
been
we
in
wait.
front of that car, Ricky,
Had
if
we
you
left
had not
30 minutes earlier because your collar didn't just sit right. So we be requiring patience
of
Well, we
others
don't have
that
it.
we don't give. That's good. Yeah.
Another sign that we might lack patience and endurance.
Ooh, don't go up in my
is
scrapbook room.
Several unfinished projects. It's amazing how many things I've started and just didn't finish.
Just
I
sit
have
down,
books
man.
half written. I mean, there are just articles half. I mean, just not, why in
And then
the
you
world?
discover them and be like, oh,
I have things that look messier, but I'd have to explain to somebody, this was me cleaning up. I know it looks messier, but because to clean it, I had to like empty everything out. And now it looks messier, but that was actually me starting the cleaning process. I just didn't see it through.
yeah.
I just didn't see it through. So if you really can tell that you have kind of a lack of persistence in your pursuits, you start goals and projects and then you abandon them, you're not seeing things through, that's signaling you that you have a lack of endurance.
Yeah.
Pick something and see the thing through. Make it in chunks like Marty just suggested, you know what I mean? And decide, I'm going to finish this. I said I was going to clean out my dresser drawers and now clothes are everywhere because I just pulled everything out. Finish that. Get the boxes and put the stuff in that you're going to call the Salvation Army. Make the appointment. Put it outside. Like finish that thing all the way through. You know how accomplished, you know the joy that comes from that?
I had told her last spring I was I started having like panic attacks. Maybe it was around this time last year. And I couldn't figure out why because I was like, I'm not a
Highly anxious.
I'm not a highly anxious person. Why is this happening? And the frequency started to increase and I was just like, what is this? Like I'm waking up out of sleep with this feeling. And I in this season after I had my surgery and everything, I just became so naturally chill that I stopped having the attacks more. And I realized what was the thing that was causing me the anxiety. But what I also realized when they started to wane is that working out was helping. It wasn't the actual workout. It was my it was my mental health around accomplishing something. It was
But
the
you set a
thinking
goal and,
of
and
yes,
met that thing.
it was thinking about that all day. When I would feel the aches and pains of a workout, I would be like, "But I got that workout
Look
in."
at me. Go ahead, girl.
But look at me, I did this thing, and that would take up my mind space more than all the things that I've got to accomplish. Just having accomplished a thing already, that started to take up my thinking more than the idea of, oh, I never do that, or I still got this to do.
Yeah.
Oh, this to-do list is so long.
Yeah. Thinking about what I have to be patient through can be countered, I think, by being like, but I've endured this. I
Yes.
endured that workout.
Yes. You feel better when you
really
when
do.
you finish the project, when you accomplish the thing. I'm just going to put myself out here. Ever since I've moved back into this new house, which has been 2 years now, y'all. My third floor has been just a dumping ground. I will clean this floor and just carry everything upstairs and just dump it in. And I ended up with rooms that you couldn't walk through because I've just, I mean, the amount of things that I had, it was ridiculous. And I said to myself, I will not come out of this spring break without having, I wish I could show you pictures of my
Before
bedroom
and after.
right now. I couldn't even, the before you would think it was an episode of Horrors. But now everything's off the floor. Everything is where it belongs. My
The
winter
joy and
clothes are
peace
in
you
bins.
must have. I mean, you
my
guys lay in
spring
the bed
clothes are
like-
hanging up in my. I slept in my bed for the first time last night.
Thank you, God. Was you on this couch like a vagrant in your own home? And the couch is lovely. I mean, it's one of the
It is.
loveliest,
It'll suck you
most
in.
beautiful.
But it's
it looks
not
like
a bed.
It looks like a luxury. It's the kind of couch that your grandmother said, "Don't go on there and get on. Don't go in the front room."
Uh-huh.
It's a front room couch
Uh-huh.
that, for many of us, would have been covered in plastic growing up.
And
She
I'm
was
sleeping
laying
on it
her body on that
Every
couch
night.
that we were barely able to touch.
every night.
Barely allowed to touch it because it was in the front room.
But I slept peacefully in my bed last night. I have another whole other bed up there. I've got
Clothing
beds
monster.
I can sleep in now.
I mean, it just, and the completion,
Yeah.
just the completion.
It makes you feel
But
good.
that does mean you're going to pull on something to help you endure.
Mhm.
When you feel yourself getting ready to quit, when you feel yourself getting irritable, when you feel yourself blaming,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's these circumstances that are keeping me from finishing this. You really just have to press all of those away and be like, or I could just do it.
Yeah.
Just
Just
do
get
it.
up. Just get up and go
Just
do it
get
right
up
now.
and do
I
it
thought
right
about
now.
it. Go
Don't
do it.
sit there and think about. Don't lament.
Yeah.
Don't punish yourself mentally for not doing it yesterday. What you doing right now? What
Yep.
you doing right now?
Yep.
Do it right now.
And not let me just finish this today. Let me just start today.
Mhm.
And we'll see how far we
just
get.
move, because
Yeah.
that's an accomplishment.
It took me days to undo what I had created in years.
Yeah,
It took me
Yeah.
days to get. I mean,
but
just
you have
to
to
make
be patient with that
yeah,
progress.
just to make
Yeah.
a pathway through the room. Yeah,
Good for
Okay.
you. Yes,
I'm
patience
excited.
and
I'm so
endurance.
excited. I've got my house back to being habitable. I can.
know. It's such a lovely home
It
too.
is
You
such
get
a
all this
lovely
lovely upgrades and stuff too. You do want to enjoy it.
Yeah, you want to enjoy it. So yeah, I'm excited.
Excited.
On that note.
Why did I-
Why are you this way?
I don't know. That's when they start jamming at the end.